This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Getting to Evansville will soon be quicker. Now at 5 o'clock, the plan to move the next phase of the I-69 project forward.
Plus, crumbling curbs were a concern for one woman, so she called RTV6 for help. Working for you this morning, where her street is now getting ready to be repaired.
And a Hoosier musician will soon be honored in his hometown. This morning, we're introducing you to the woman behind this massive mural of John Mellencamp. Jack and Diane here on Good Morning Indiana. I'm just kidding. That would be too good, though, wouldn't it?
Because I would be Juan, but that's okay. Good morning, that's Meredith Barrick. I'm Rafael Sanchez. Our friend Lauren Casey is enjoying a great vacation. And our good friend Todd Clausen is standing by with, listen.
A little ditty about the weather.
Yes.
A little ditty. We'll be doing a lot of ditty tomorrow, dodging the raindrops, that's for sure. But today's a pretty quiet day for us. That is the good news. And kind of the day, maybe you get a little yard work done before all the rain arrives for the day tomorrow. Temperatures this morning as you walk out the door, not bad. You just need the light jacket. We're in the 40s here in all locations with the exception of Connorsville at 51. Bedford's at 50. It's 43 right now in Crawfordsville, 45. From Tipton over into the Peru area, 48 officially at the airport in Indianapolis. So we're locked in with the clouds this morning. That's not going to change. It's going to kind of be one of those gray days for us. And as far as rain goes, can't be shocked if maybe there's a quick passing sprinkle at some point throughout the day today, but we're never going to see enough rain that's going to disrupt any plans if you do have them on this Friday. However, all this rain you see down to our south, that is going to start to lift to the north, and by this time tomorrow, that rain is overspreading central Indiana. So again, today's essentially a dry day. It's just not a bright day for us. Temperatures climbing. It's about 54 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour, and then high temperatures later on this afternoon will top off around 58.
Todd, thank you so much, and good morning to Bloomington, Bedford, and Bargersville as we take now a look at our INDOT camera at I-65 at 30th Street on this Friday morning. As you can see, there's some construction barrels there, but traffic is light, and we're expecting a good day on the roads throughout this day. The traffic patterns in the Circle City and in southern parts of our state, they're going to see a major change very soon.
The state is prepared to start construction on the final stretch of Interstate 69. RTV6's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with all the details on this massive project. Good morning, Kelsey.
Good morning, Meredith and Rafael. So yeah, they're calling this project the I-69 finish line, and that's because it is the last section of this massive project that they're hoping will connect Evansville directly to Indianapolis. Now, INDOT officials tell us they plan to have the project complete by 2024. The massive project will bring 26 miles of new interstate, 39 bridges, 10 new interchanges, and it will also eliminate 14 traffic lights. Once it's complete, the I-69 will connect to I-465 just west of the current State Road 37 exit. As the interstate flows into the Circle City, drivers on I-465 will see changes as well. They plan to upgrade the loops to 4 lanes in both directions from I-70 west on the southwest side to I-65 on the southeast side.
We've decided, based on traffic counts and what we see as a progression for the next not even 20 years, but 40 years down the road, that we needed to widen that part of 465 to account for all of this traffic that'll be coming through with 69.
The $1.5 billion project is fully funded, and not only will it connect Evansville to Indy, it will also make the drive to Martinsville a lot easier and a lot quicker for drivers. Now, this construction on this final stretch of I-69 will impact a lot of commuters, so it's important that you stay up to date. And in the next half hour, we're going to hear from a bus driver who says this construction will impact her, but she's ready for it. I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. The Department of Public Works says repairs are supposed to begin on Monday after an East Side woman reached out to RTV6 for help. Wanda Davis says the road outside her home on Woods Crossing Drive has been crackling and crumbling and getting worse for years. It's at the point where she says she has to put chunks of the road back together out of concern for other safety.
It's getting frustrating to where you walk out here, you trip over this. I mean, pulling into your driveway, you have to go off-road and just to get into your driveway.
Davis has kept notes of all her attempts to contact the city for help. When RTV6 searched her case number with the Mayor's Action Center, it listed her issue as complete. DPW says that's because a crew has been assigned to the project. Well, not long after our crew met with Davis, workers were on her street marking the area to be repaired. DPW says those repairs will start at the beginning of next week as long as weather cooperates. We'll check in with Davis to see if that project gets done. And as always, if you have a problem and you feel like you are not getting the answers you deserve, reach out to us at workingforyou@RTV6.com.
The Indiana Supreme Court Disciplinary Commission hearing for Curtis Hill is over, but not before the commission grilled the Attorney General over allegations that he inappropriately touched State House staffers at a party. In his testimony, Hill was adamant that he did not inappropriately touch any of the four accusers or anybody at the party at AJ's Lounge back in March of 2018. Representative Mara Candelaria Reardon testified on Monday that she and Hill saw each other at the bar. She said he leaned down as if he couldn't hear her and then put his hand on her back. Reardon said he then slid down her back and grabbed her buttocks. Hill said he absolutely did not grab Reardon's buttocks. The hearing is to determine if Hill faces any legal discipline for the accusations of sexual misconduct. The Indiana Supreme Court will decide whether to impose a penalty ranging from a reprimand to removal of Hill's law license. That decision could take months.
An 11-year-old Amish boy has died after being accidentally shot by his sibling. The shooting happened earlier this week in the town of Bern in Adams County. The boy died before medics could arrive. Investigators say the child was shot in the chest by his sibling. Deputies say they're working to figure out why the children had the long gun in the first place. Sheriff's officials say it is important to teach children not to point guns at anything that you do not intend to shoot.
At 5:07, take a look. What a sight. This weekend, a new Indianapolis will officially join the U.S. Navy. The fourth ship to bear the name USS Indianapolis will be commissioned at Burns Harbor along Lake Michigan, as you can see right there. The ship is designed for a crew of 70. It is easy to maneuver, which is helpful for missions like mine clearing and anti-submarine action. The most well-known USS Indianapolis was sunk by the Japanese in 1945 while returning from an island where it delivered key parts for the atomic bomb. Only 317 of its 1,200 crew survived the sinking and days in shark-infested waters.
I was saturated with diesel fuel, and they do not like smell of diesel fuel. So they slipped them in and swam away. So it saved my life, the diesel fuel. Yeah.
All heroes, and we thank them for their service. Seaman Second Class Dick Thielen survived the sinking of the second USS Indianapolis. You got to look at the new ship this week. 11,000 people are expected at tomorrow's commissioning ceremony. The ship will be stationed at Mayport Naval Station near Jacksonville, Florida.
A mural honoring a rock and roll legend, John Mellencamp, is going up in his hometown of Seymour. The mural is located on the side of a music store. The store owner, Larry McDonald, is actually a high school classmate of Mellencamp. McDonald says he worked since 2014 to honor Mellencamp's success and make the mural a reality. Indianapolis-based artist Pamela Bliss says dedicating the past few weeks to the project has been an honor.
As a young adult, I listened to his music. I kind of grew up with his music, and so I've been singing all the music and listening to it while I'm painting the mural. It's quite an honor. I feel very privileged to be able to do this.
The mural is expected to be completed next month. And a little known fact about John Mellencamp, he actually does artwork himself. Other than just the music. I'm a wealth of knowledge, Raphael. All right, and the man with the wealth of weather is Todd Clausen.
He's an artist. Todd Clausen is an artist. He draws weather maps. Look at all that artwork behind him.
All right, we got 4 different panels for you. We put them together each and every day. We pop them out for you and show you what's going on. And here's the first one. We get you going this morning, and we have mostly cloudy skies. And with the clouds in place, temperatures from this point forward throughout the commute really not going to differ. So we walk out to here, the next hour or so is the temperature you'll deal with through 8 a.m. Now, clouds are in place. You don't have to worry about any precipitation today, but all this rain down to our south is going to start to lift to the north, and that is going to be on our plate for the day tomorrow. Unfortunately, your Saturday is going to be a pretty wet day for us all across the area. As far as today goes, high temperatures only in the mid-50s from Kokomo through Greenwood, and then as you get to the south, maybe a couple 60-degree temperatures here and there, but the focus will be on the rain. 100% chance of rain tomorrow. It's on the guarantee. And then Sunday, the rain chances are basically before sunrise. So that times out pretty well for you for the Colts game. We'll talk more about the rain coming our way in more detail in just a few minutes.
Todd, thank you. Severe storms pound an airport jet bridge. Where the strong winds push this jet bridge out of the way and how much airport officials say that weighs.
Plus, new numbers out this morning show just how bad those vaping injuries are becoming. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the new cases right here in the Hoosier State.
And we are taking a live look right now at I-69 at Brooks School Road. It is 5:10 on your Friday morning, and things are moving up to speed out on the roadways. We'll be right back.
Days from 4:30 to 7.
Good Friday morning to you, Fairland, Gas City, and Marion, as we take a live look from our in-dot camera at I-465 at I-69 at State Road 37. As you know, this is a very busy place. We expect this to get really much more busier and crowded as the morning goes along. But for now, all is well in Central Indiana. Enjoy your Friday. Enjoy your weekend.
A federal judge is holding Education Secretary Betsy DeVos and the Education Department in civil contempt. The judge has ordered them to pay damages to student borrowers who took out loans to attend a now defunct for-profit college. Corinthian Colleges collapsed in 2015. The judge previously ordered the Education Department to stop collecting on the loans. But in September, the department admitted more than 16,000 borrowers were incorrectly informed they owed a payment on their debt after the court order. As a result, about 1,800 people had their wages garnished, and more than 800 people were mistakenly subject to adverse credit reporting.
The Russian spy who tried to infiltrate Republican political circles will soon be a free woman. Maria Butina is expected to be released from prison today. Butina pleaded guilty last year to conspiracy to act as an agent of a foreign government. Now, she admitted to trying to gain access to GOP political groups in order to promote Russian interests. The 30-year-old Russian national has served 15 months of her 18-month sentence at the Tallahassee Federal Correction Institution. After she's released, she's expected to be immediately deported back to Moscow.
The grounding of the Boeing 737 MAX comes at a high cost to airlines. American and Southwest Airlines report a combined loss of at least $1 billion. That number is only expected to grow. American Airlines has 24 of the troubled jets. Southwest has 31. United also operates the plane but hasn't released an estimate of its losses. The model was grounded worldwide in March after 2 deadly crashes killed 346 people.
So cameras catching the moment that strong winds, have you seen this? This is absolutely unbelievable. Pushed a jet bridge across the tarmac, this at a Tennessee airport. The Memphis International Airport tweeted this video showing the jet bridge right there being blown into the side of a concourse during a storm earlier this week. Heavy winds and rain can be seen beating down on the airport just before the jet bridge swings into view. The out-of-control jet bridge also moved 2 parked vehicles. The jet bridge reportedly weighs several tons. Luckily, there was not a plane there. Luckily, no one was hurt in the concourse. But as you can see, the power of Mother Nature.
Just incredible. Well, this video isn't from parts of Montana or the Dakotas. It is straight out of Amarillo, Texas. Parts of the Lone Star State looking like a winter wonderland. And as you can see, it wasn't just a dusting. The National Weather Service tweeted that preliminary reports showed 4 inches of snow fell just west of Amarillo. The last time Amarillo saw snow was back in October of 2011. Well, the last time they saw snow in October was in 2011, that is. Authorities reported multiple accidents caused by the icy weather. There's no word this morning if any serious injuries were reported. And Todd, is there any snow in your forecast?
No snow in my forecast, but I have a lot of rain in the forecast once we get to the day tomorrow. So today, as we mentioned, is kind of a quiet day of weather for us. Just not going to be the brightest day. And with the clouds in place this morning, our temperature sits at 48 degrees, and that's actually above normal. We should be getting a little bit cooler than that this time of year for our overnight lows. So that's not a bad thing at all, right? Light wind out of the north at 5 miles per hour. And temperatures with the cloud cover that's in place this morning are in the 40s in most locations. A couple 50s out there, Bedford as well as in Connersville. 42 is the cool spot in Crawfordsville. So we'll kind of breeze through the forecast for the day today, because the only thing that really changes is the temperature. We're just having lots of clouds around throughout the day. 53 degrees is your noontime temperature. We go up to about 57 to 60 degrees for your high, depending on where you are. A little bit warmer maybe in southern locations compared to northern locales. So here are the clouds that are in place, and you see little specks of green here and there on the map. Can't completely rule out the chance of a spot sprinkle or two as we work our way throughout the day today, but it's nothing that's going to hamper your plans. In fact, you probably wouldn't even have to put the windshield wipers on if you encounter it while you are in your car. However, there's a lot of rainfall down to our south, and that is going to start to stream our way as we work our way into the day tomorrow. But high school football games, we're kicking off the playoffs here with the Friday football frenzy, and it's a quiet forecast. It's mostly cloudy tonight, 56 degrees as a lot of these games kick off, and then low 50s as they wrap up right around 9 o'clock. So let's talk about the rain. Fast forward to 9 o'clock tomorrow morning. The rain's overspreading the area from south to north. So by sunrise, Bloomington over towards Columbus already seeing the rain. It spreads to the north, becomes heavy at times as we work our way towards the noon hour. And the track of the storm has shifted a little further back off towards the west. So what that has done is taken the axis of the real heavy rainfall yesterday when I showed you, which was down towards Bloomington over towards Cincinnati, and it shifted it further to the north. So the heaviest the rain looks like it'll be in northern locations, but everybody will get into some pretty good rain at times throughout the day tomorrow. It's windy as well, and so it's just not really going to be the most pleasant day. And even heading into Sunday, 4 a.m., a few showers linger, but by the time we get to daybreak on Sunday, most of the rainfall should be out of here. But this is going to be a good old-fashioned soaking for us, anywhere from about 1 to 2 inches of rain widespread across the area. Some areas could pick up to nearly 3 inches of rain during the day tomorrow. Sunday is cloudy, then pretty quiet start to next week with sunshine and highs anywhere from 57 to 62.
Todd, thank you so much. Good morning to Carmel, Edinburgh, and Homecroft. And let's stay on the south side with our in-dot camera at I-65 at Greenwood. And just north of this location here, there are some construction barrels and some construction activity there by the Southport exit. So be mindful of that this morning. Now let's head over to the west side, the proud home of our own Ben Davis grad, Nikki Griffin. Of course, she's a West Sider. It's in-dot camera at 465 at West 21st Street. Traffic is building up. All is good. Have a good Friday.
A new study finds those windy, humid days everyone dreads are also bad for pain. Researchers say the weather aggravates pain for people with chronic conditions like arthritis. Study participants rated their pain using a GPS-based smartphone app. Researchers say dry days were found to be the least likely to be painful. There was no recorded association between pain and rainfall or temperature, just wind and humidity. Researchers say the study could mean people with chronic pain can plan their activities based on predicted levels of pain. Very interesting.
The CDC is reporting more than 100 new cases of vaping-related lung injuries across our country. The health agency says 49 states, the District of Columbia, and the U.S. Virgin Islands are dealing with a total of 1,604 cases. That's 125 more cases reported than last week. The Hoosier State saw 3 new cases of the illness since last week. The CDC reports 35 people have died across the country as a result of their illnesses. Health officials say all of the patients in this outbreak have a history of using e-cigarette products. Most of them also reported using products containing THC. That's the primary component of marijuana. Those products are basically street drugs, and there's no way to know who's making them or what's really in them.
It is fall and hockey is in the air. We want to see you at tonight's Indy Fuel home opener. Keep watching Good Morning Indiana for your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to tonight's game. We'll be right back.
Chrysler Dodge Jeep Ram.
The only name you need to know.
This bizarre story. Police video shows how a car crash saved an Arizona family from being run over. The family of 3 had the right-of-way and began crossing that very busy Phoenix intersection. The family escaped unharmed, and the car's driver sustained non-life-threatening injuries, as you can see from the crash there. Police say the Jeep's driver was under the influence and was combative with witnesses. He was arrested and has not yet entered a plea on a slew of charges.
Oh, just terrifying. terrifying.
Wow.
Now to a story straight out of a fairy tale. Archaeologists have discovered a medieval sword in western Bosnia. It was embedded in stone at the bottom of the Vrbas River. The Banja Luka sword dates back to the 13th or 14th centuries. Historians are hoping to get more information about the sword once it's cleaned. After it's restored, the sword will be placed on display in a local museum next year.
Wow.
That's pretty neat. Wow.
Never know what you're going to find.
No, I wonder if there's anything like that in the White River.
There's a lot of carp.
Yeah, a lot of carp.
Don't eat the carp.
A lot of mud. A lot of trees, but I don't know about that. But yeah, you never know. All right, outside right now we're dealing with cloudy skies as you get your final commute for the work weekend and the kids head off to the bus stop this morning. It's not bad. It's just mostly cloudy with temperatures in the 40s, and that's where we stay throughout the entire duration of the morning drive. 9 a.m. the temperature should be right around 45 degrees. So again, the clouds in place keep the temperatures from moving a whole lot this morning. Eventually highs right around 58 in the city, a little cooler to the north, a little warmer down to the south. Not much in the way of rainfall today. Maybe a sprinkle or two at best. That changes tomorrow. It turns into a very wet day. More on that forecast coming up in the next half hour.
Todd, thank you. A mother in Mooresville is pushing for change after drivers continue to pass by her son's stopped school bus. Ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the changes she wants to see.
I never thought I'd have to look for another job, but...
Here we go. Training to land a job after a plant closing. Why hundreds of thousands of dollars are being left on the table when it comes to training dollars that people deserve. A Hiring Hoosiers Call 6 investigation coming up at 6 right here on Good Morning Indiana.
And we are cruising into the weekend and taking a live look at I-70 at Shadeland Avenue. As you can see, traffic moving along just fine. Only a few cars out there on your Friday morning. We'll be right back.
Today at 10 on RTV6. This is Good Morning Indiana, working for you.
Now at 5:30 on Good Morning Indiana, a parent concerned about multiple drivers caught on camera passing her child's stopped school bus. What the school is now doing to catch those drivers and as well improve safety in that location.
And today is the last day for union members to vote on a new contract with General Motors, where the vote that could end the ongoing strike stands so far. It is 5:30 here on your Friday morning. We have made it to the end of the week. I'm Meredith Barrett.
I'm Rafael Sanchez. A beautiful view right now. I know you can't see much of it there, but our Todd Clausen is standing by to tell us that, it's going to be okay, right?
Yeah,
Todd?
it's not, it's not a bad day today. Like I said yesterday, it's not going to be the brightest day for us in our forecast, so you don't really need to have the sunglasses handy, and the jacket you'll need this morning as temperatures are in the 40s, but your outdoor workout is good to go really at any point throughout the day today. Tomorrow, though, we're going to have to check off that umbrella because it turns into a very, very wet day. So here are the clouds around, and you see little specks of green here and there. You can't rule out the chance of maybe a sprinkle here and there throughout the day today, but it's nothing more than that. You don't need to have the umbrella for a sprinkle, as it won't really impact you much at all. But look at all this rain that is connected right down to the Gulf of Mexico. That's going to lift its way to the north, and that's what we're going to be dealing with for the day tomorrow. So while it's cloudy, the temperatures are pretty uniform. A couple degrees here and there, different. 48 in Indy, 45 in Peru, 46 the current temperature in Lafayette. Temperatures as a whole throughout the day today really don't do much at all. We're right around 53 degrees by the time we get to the noon hour. Then high temperatures today will top off in the mid to upper 50s. We'll talk more about the rain for tomorrow coming up in Maine weather in just a few minutes. But right now at 5:31, it's time for a look at traffic.
Todd, thank you. We are looking at I-465 at I-69 State Road 37. You can see traffic beginning to pick up in that part of town. Now we're going to take a turn to I-65 at the South Split. Traffic moving along just fine in that area. No issues to report at this hour.
Let's keep on the issue of traffic. The traffic patterns in the Circle City and in the southern part of our state are going to see some major changes very soon.
That's because the state is preparing to construct the final stretch of Interstate 69. Our TV6's Kelsey Anderson joins us live this morning with the details on this massive project. Kelsey, good morning.
Good morning. Yeah, so they're calling this the I-69 finish line, and that's because it's the last section of this massive project that's going to connect 69 to 465 just west of this exit here at State Road 37. Now, NDOT officials tell us they plan to have the project complete by 2024. The massive project will bring 26 miles of new interstate, 39 bridges, and 10 new interchanges. It will also eliminate 14 traffic lights. Now, once it's complete, it will connect Evansville directly to Indy for the first time. Now, commuters should prepare for delays and slowdowns because this project is expected to take 4 years, be complete by 2024. And Beth Solvin is a school bus driver for Perry Township Schools. We talked to her last night, and she says she knows she'll have to stay on top of the construction project.
Oh, no. This lady runs on time no matter what. But you've got to plan. You've got to plan around that. And that goes for wherever you work around town. You plan for what's going on.
As the interstate flows into the Circle City, drivers on I-465 will see changes as well. The plan is to upgrade the loops to 4 lanes in both directions from I-70 West on the southwest side to I-65 on the southeast side. Now, that $1.5 billion project is fully funded, and again, is expected to be done in 2024. For now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Kelsey, thank you. RTV6 is working for you, getting answers about school bus safety after a Mooresville family shared this video with us. It shows cars passing their son's school bus while it's stopped with the stop arm out. Kimberly Baker says this happens almost every day. It's something she's even more aware of after the deaths of 3 children boarding their school bus in Fulton County last year.
I want to be proactive, not reactive. And you know, I don't want anything to happen to any of our children. It was absolutely heartbreaking. I can't imagine going through that.
A spokeswoman with Mooresville Schools says they are working with police to step up patrols in the area. Officers were out yesterday morning and afternoon near the bus stop. The district is also testing out a new camera system for its school buses. Baker is taking her push for safety one step farther. She filed a complaint with NDOT asking for signs to alert drivers to the bus stop.
The time now is 5:35. Investigators are revealing new information about the 2 people killed when their SUV crashed through the wall of a parking garage here in downtown Indianapolis. The Marion County Coroner's Office says the victims, 70-year-old Iristine Hunt and 73-year-old Charles Hunt, are from the University Park, Illinois area. Investigators say their Lincoln SUV hit the left rear corner of another parked vehicle. Then that SUV traveled 20 feet through the side of the garage and fell upside down in an alley below. Police are still investigating what's being called right now a very tragic accident.
This morning, people living in Henry County are getting ready to open their pocketbooks. The county council has passed a new 0.2% income tax increase that will fund a new jail. According to the county auditor, that would be about $87 per year more for someone who has an annual income of $46,000. The council says the county jail in Newcastle is 40 years old and overcrowded. The money from the tax aims to build a jail 3 times the size of the current one and have room for about 300 inmates. They are still working out the details of the jail's construction. The tax will take effect in January and would be in effect for 22 years.
Today is the final day for union members to vote on that tentative General Motors contract. That deal would end the ongoing strike that has lasted for a month for GM workers, including thousands right here in central Indiana. The 4-year contract would deliver pay increases, keep health care costs the same, and give workers a path to work their way into upper-tier jobs. The deal would also save a GM plant near Detroit that was planned to close. Right now, the vote stands at around 60% in favor and 40% opposed. Union members have until 4 this afternoon to vote on the proposed deal.
An Indigo bus is off the roads this morning, and an investigation is underway after passengers felt the effects of a strange smell while on board. A man reached out to RTV6 with the strange situation. He says he was on his way to work on an Indigo bus and noticed a bad smell. He started coughing, and then other passengers did as well. Even the driver began coughing. He says before taking off, the driver flagged down an attendant who brought over a supervisor who also coughed and sneezed, and then they opened the windows and told the bus driver to take off.
Our problem is that the bus driver was still in it, and I kind of thought, you know, you got to drive this bus, and you know, you might run into something if it gets too intense. he'll pass out or something while he's operating the bus, and there'll be some fatality.
The man says the passengers on the bus coughed the whole way from downtown Indy to 46th Street on the north side, even with all the windows open. Indigo says they took this bus out of rotation shortly after the passengers felt sick. They say they are working to determine what may have caused them to feel ill.
This morning, homeowners in Speedway could save a lot of money. In 3 months, they got a choice to opt out of flood insurance. Speedway began work on the dry run drainage diversion program back in 2015. FEMA has now given initial approval for the map because the city built a drainage ditch to hold major rainstorm water. Now, people living in the dry run area say the change is a relief because their flood insurance costs keep going up every year.
We went from an $800 flood insurance payment to over $2,000 in the span of just a couple of years.
Although people won't be required to purchase it, Speedway town leaders are encouraging people to still have that flood insurance. They say the rate will be cheaper, and while the chance of area flooding is low, it is still there. The new flood map will go into effect on January the 24th.
Take a look at this. Crews are working to remove tons of trash from a home in Evansville. So far, they have removed 22 tons of garbage. Things like a refrigerator, tires, and other items covered the front yard. City crews say they are called to this home about twice a year because of the trash pileup. According to family members, the homeowner is in jail and cannot afford the cleanup.
An Indiana father is learning the hard way never to trust a deal that just seems too good to be true. You see, Sean Richardson is heading to Washington, D.C. with his best friends and their 14-year-old sons for a school trip. Richardson thought it would be a fun surprise to take the boys to see the Nationals and the Astros in Game 3 of the World Series. He was surprised how expensive the tickets were on authorized websites, so he checked on Craigslist and found 4 tickets for $2,400. The seller was supposed to send them the tickets through the MLB Ballpark app. Major League Baseball says that is a secure way to get tickets from a third party. But this Craigslist seller never came through.
Not only are we out $2,400, our 13, 14-year-old sons are devastated because we had something pretty special planned for them, and now we can't do it.
Yeah, let's call foul on that Craigslist seller. He should be ashamed of himself. A sad situation, but an important reminder. It's always a risk to get tickets through sites like Craigslist. It's best to go through those authorized websites or third-party sellers, even if the prices are too steep. At 5:40, it is time to check your forecast. Todd Clausen, you are standing by. Hopefully, ooh, look at those effects. You are rocking it this week with the graphics and the falls. The leaves are falling.
These are falling. We got the apples here. We got some pumpkins. And I picked this, Raphael, because I know a lot of people probably tomorrow making plans maybe to go get that pumpkin, maybe go to the apple orchard. Probably not going to happen. I hate to be Debbie Downer, but tomorrow's going to be a pretty wet day. So today is a decent day. It's not the brightest day, so maybe as the kids come home from school, you could do that activity later on this afternoon and into the evening hours, as we'll see cloudy skies throughout the day. 49 degrees at 10 a.m., 57 degrees by the time we get to 4 p.m. So here is the rain. It's to our south. This is all going to stream to our north, and we deal with it pretty much throughout the entire day tomorrow. So tomorrow's rain forecast, about as high as it can go. Sunday, we'll put the slight chance in. Most of the rain should come to an end before daybreak on Sunday, but maybe a few isolated showers linger after that. But as a whole, Sunday's a much better day this weekend, and as we get to Monday and Tuesday, it's going to be dry. We'll talk all about the rain and how much we could see tomorrow coming up in just a few minutes.
We'll see you then, Todd. Tens of thousands of people in California are being forced to evacuate as growing fires inch closer and closer to neighborhoods. Coming up, the damage already done by the fast-moving flames.
As teachers continue their strike in Chicago, student athletes, they're being kept from competing in state sports competitions. Still ahead on Good Morning Indiana, the lawsuit being filed by parents against the School Board of Education in that city.
And at 5:41, we're taking a look at I-70 at the North Split. You can see just a few cars out there to get your Friday morning started. No issues on the roadways. We'll be right back.
With Celgens XR.
Tens of thousands of people in California are being forced to evacuate overnight as the fast-moving flames burn closer and closer to neighborhoods. The two largest fires, the Tick Fire in Southern California and the Kincaid Fire in Sonoma County, are less than 10% contained. ABC's Kenneth Moten has the very latest.
Overnight, wildfire after wildfire raging in California. At least 40,000 people have been ordered to evacuate near Los Angeles as 30-mile-per-hour winds drive fast-moving fires.
Basically, force these people out of their homes.
The biggest of those blazes, the so-called tick fire, spreading across hundreds of acres in just minutes. These horses in Santa Clarita frantically running in their enclosure as houses around them catch fire.
This might actually be the one instance in which having a garden hose, look at that, was able to put out the palm tree. But
firefighters had to cut their way into this nearby daycare after an ember landed on the roof, igniting the building. Meanwhile, in Northern California, the so-called Kincaid fire has burned at least 16,000 acres in Sonoma County's wine country. Firefighters had to drive through tunnels of flames, trying to get the upper hand while facing winds gusting above 75 miles per hour.
We just can't keep ahead of it.
Authorities say at least 49 buildings have been destroyed, and thousands of people have been ordered to evacuate.
They were really, get out now. Grab your keys and your dogs and go.
Kenneth Moten, ABC News, New York.
All right, been very dry and very windy there on the West Coast, and that's helping to spawn some of those forest fires. We've been pretty dry. I know we got a good amount of rain on Monday, but we're getting a lot of rain in our forecast for tomorrow. So kind of take today to plan ahead for that. If you have errands you're planning on doing tomorrow, maybe try to get them out of the way today. So we'll quickly just focus on today's forecast because not much changes. It's mostly cloudy from start to finish. There could be a spot sprinkle. That is just about it. Temperatures today will top off right around 60 degrees. So not bad. Our normal high is 62, so we're just going to be a few degrees below normal. It's just not going to be a very bright day for us throughout the day today. So here are the clouds in place, and you see a little bit of green popping up here and there on Storm Team 6 radar, and that is obviously a little bit of rainfall, but the air is pretty dry still, so expecting nothing more than a spot sprinkle or two in the forecast throughout the day today, and that is just about it. But then as we expand out, you notice the rain and even some snow there in North Texas. That is all going to start to stream in our direction. We'll be warm enough by far, though, for an all-rain event in our forecast as we work our way throughout the course of your Saturday. This evening, it's Friday night. There's a lot going on across town. You may have plans. Just mostly cloudy skies. Temperatures will be in the 50s, eventually falling into the 40s as we get to 11 p.m. Keep in mind, sunset now, 6:52 in the evening. So tomorrow, the rain will overspread the area from south to north. Here we are around 9:30 in the morning. Still dry in northern locations, but everybody else from Indy southward probably seeing the rain. The heavy rain bands will start to make their way north throughout the morning hours into the early afternoon. With the heaviest of the rain, it looks like it's now going to set up across northern and then western portions of the state. That's the heaviest of the rain. Everybody else will still see rain throughout the day, and if you do get a break here and there on Saturday, it's not going to last super long. So always have the Storm Shield app handy. You can pull it up and you can check the interactive radar. Maybe get some errands in here and there in between some of these downpours, but for the most part, it's a washout of a day tomorrow. The wind will be fairly strong as well, gusting up to about 25 miles per hour at times. Maybe a rumble of thunder, but we shouldn't see much in the way of any widespread thunderstorms. It's mainly just going to be a rain event for us. 4:30 Sunday morning, the rain's finally starting to pull out by 8 a.m. Could be a few spot showers here or there, but that should be just about it, which will be good news for the Colts game. But this is a good old-fashioned soaking for us tomorrow. 1 to 2 inches of rain basically for everybody. Some areas could even see a little bit more than that. Temperatures tomorrow will actually climb into the low 60s late in the day, so we're well above freezing. So again, it's just a rain event for tomorrow. The good news is for the Colts game on Sunday, most of the rain should be gone by the time you start tailgating, 10, 11 o'clock. By the time that game kicks, sky should be partly cloudy, and Sunday does turn into a decent day for us, so keep that in mind. Going forward in the forecast, we'll draw your attention to Thursday of next week. It's Halloween. Right now, there could be a few showers possible, but nothing widespread, and a temperature of 51.
Todd, thank you. A dry drive in this morning for you as we take a live look from our in-dot camera at I-65 at 30th Street. There are some barrels there, as you can see. There are some construction zones throughout central Indiana, but nothing is impacting traffic this morning.
Actress Rose McGowan is now suing troubled film producer Harvey Weinstein. Her attorneys filed a racketeering lawsuit against the Hollywood producer and his former lawyers and an international private investigations firm. McGowan alleges Weinstein and his team attempted to discredit her and the rape claims she made against him. The actress accused Weinstein of raping her at the Sundance Film Festival in 1997. She is one of more than 80 women to make allegations against him. Weinstein has denied all the allegations.
Former President Jimmy Carter has been released from the hospital after a fall earlier this week. Carter was being treated for a minor pelvic fracture after he fell in his home in Georgia. A spokesperson says he'll be recovering at his home. This is the second time that Mr. Carter has fallen this month and had to be hospitalized. At the age of 95, he is the oldest living U.S. president.
15 parents of Chicago high school athletes have filed a lawsuit against the city's Board of Education because of the teacher strike. They say it's preventing their children from taking part in the state series competitions. Football, soccer, volleyball, tennis, and cross-country teams are being affected. A policy within the Illinois High School Association says schools are not allowed to compete in the competition while teachers are on strike. Some teams have already missed the first round of qualifying competitions. Appeals through the IHSA have not gone through, and now parents are turning to the courts. They filed an emergency complaint which would allow their children to compete.
Young men and young athletes are being, in a way, punished, and we're hoping that they see and they understand what our appeal is about.
26,000 Chicago teachers and 8,000 support staff workers are still on strike. School has also been canceled since the picketing began last week. Spotify is giving away free smart speakers. After the break, how you can score a free Google Home.
And it's a great night to watch some hockey. The Indy Fuel plays their home opener tonight at the Indiana Farmers Coliseum. Good Morning Indiana wants you to be right there and enjoy all of the action. Right now is your chance to win a family 4-pack of tickets to tonight's game. All you have to do is be the 6th caller. You know what to do. Call 317-269-1459. If you're not the lucky caller this half hour, keep trying. We're giving away more tickets this next hour.
Fun.
Spotify subscribers have a chance to score some free gear, but you do have to act fast. The streaming service is giving away Google Home mini speakers to premium subscribers. All you have to do is log on to Spotify's website to claim yours or sign up for a premium plan, which costs $9.99 a month for an individual or $14.99 for a family plan. The deal runs through November 15th or until supplies last. Not a bad deal. A little early Christmas gift.
You have a birthday coming up next week. Maybe I can
do. Do you have a Spotify account?
No.
Okay.
No.
Well, maybe we'll have to get you one.
I'm just old school.
You listen to the radio?
iPod, you know, have all the good music. Or I borrowed Todd Clausen's iPod. He has a rockin' iPod system.
Does he?
And I have Spotify, Raphael.
Because you're a cool kid.
He
You're
is.
a cool
He's
kid.
hip.
You're hip.
And now that you're with us here at Good Morning Indiana, we'll get you there. We'll get you there. We'll get you that account. You can listen to all your music you got going on. I don't know. What is your favorite artist? You'll have to tell us. 47 in Indianapolis, 49 in Muncie. Mine's Bruce Springsteen, by the way. We have a few spot showers out there. Nothing more than a sprinkle or two, and that is just about it. But there's a lot of rainfall down to our south. This is what heads our way during the day tomorrow. Your Saturday is an extremely wet day for us. Your Sunday's a little bit better. We'll talk more about it coming up in the next hour.
Todd, thank you. Coming up in the next half hour, crumbling curbs were a concern for drivers on the east side, so one woman called RTV6 for help. What will not be done to get her street repaired?
Hundreds of jobs are leaving. But why are thousands of dollars in federal assistance going untouched? I'm Rafael Sanchez. That story next on RTV6.